Welcome to the Oasis. My name is Mike, and today here I am again at the show floor at PAX East in Boston, and I'm in an Oculus booth again today to get some substantial hands-on time with this little device here. Of course, the Oculus Quest. Now, I know so many of you out there are excited about this headset, and I'm super excited about this headset too. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time today testing this headset and putting it through its paces. I'm going to be testing the resolution, the lenses, the comfort, the tracking, and I'll make sure I put timestamps to everything in the description down below. Thanks again to Oculus for sponsoring my trip to come here. I really appreciate the invite. It's been an absolute blast so far, and I can't wait to spend some more time with this device. So without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so to quickly cover the basics for those who are new to VR, the Oculus Quest is a standalone virtual reality headset. And this means you don't need a powerful PC to run the device, and it has everything it needs all built into the headset itself. It features inside-out tracking for the headset and controllers, which provides a full 6 degrees of freedom VR experience, so you can move around a play space freely and interact with the virtual world just like you can on a PCVR headset, with the added benefit of not having any wires. The headset will be launching for $399 for the 64GB model and $499 for the 128GB model. Both will be launching in spring 2019 with over 50 games and experiences. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any more info on an exact release date at PAX, but it's likely it's going to be released around Facebook F8, which takes place between the 30th of April and the 1st of May. Now, before we get into my hands-on impressions, I know there is a lot of hype around this headset, and for the most part, it's completely justified. However, I do see a lot of confusion in the comments of my previous videos about what this headset is actually capable of. So I just wanted to clear some things up and manage your expectations. In terms of performance, visuals, and games, PCVR-based headsets like Rift and Vive are always going to provide a better experience. A mobile Snapdragon processor is never going to be able to compete with a powerful gaming PC running a headset. High-end games like the incredibly detailed Stormland and Asgard's Wrath simply won't be possible on a standalone headset like the Oculus Quest without making significant sacrifices for the foreseeable future. It's also highly unlikely that you're going to be able to connect the Oculus Quest to a PC to play PCVR content from Steam VR. It's also highly unlikely that you're going to be able to add custom tracks to Beat Saber when it releases on Quest. However, with all that said, what the Quest can deliver, it delivers well, and gives you a great immersive gaming experience in a compact, sleek, and portable package. I'll provide gameplay in this video, which was recorded directly from the Oculus Quest headset itself, which shows you exactly what I could see whilst playing some games on the show floor. This should give you a good idea of what you can expect if you pick up an Oculus Quest on release. Now let's move on to my hands-on experience, starting with the audio. The Oculus Quest doesn't have any earphones. It channels audio through the head strap to outlets near your ears, just like on the Oculus Go and the new Oculus Rift S. On the noisy show floor at PAX, just like with the Rift S, it was really hard to hear the audio clearly, even with the volume at its maximum. The audio is fine for the most part, however, it seemed like it lacked bass, but this is likely due to the audio channel design. Because of this open audio channel design, it will also mean that other people around you will hear the audio from the game that you're playing. However, you can use your own headphones utilizing one of two 3.5mm headphone jacks, which can be found on both sides of the headset. Having two 3.5mm headphone jacks is an unusual design choice, and it was hinted that this would be for an optional official audio accessory to be announced in the future. Using headphones on the Oculus Quest was a much better experience than using headphones on the Rift S. The Quest has a much thinner, flexible head strap, so using a nice pair of headphones will be a comfortable experience, which can really add to the immersion in games, as you're not distracted by the real-world noise around you. Whilst we're talking about the head strap, let's move on to ergonomics and comfort. Now, I always found the original Oculus Rift baseball cap style design with Velcro adjustment straps to be the most comfortable in long gaming sessions, so I'm really happy the Quest uses a similar design. The facial interface, just like on Oculus Go, will be replaceable. They had a pleather style interface on the Quest on the show floor for demos, however the consumer product will likely have a material one. Hopefully VR Cover will design a nice replacement kit, as I've always been a big fan of their products on the Rift Vive, and Go. The head strap itself feels more flexible than the original Rift and has a deeper section at the back, which really does a good job of cupping the back of your head nicely, providing support for the headset. And this is really important as the headset is very front heavy. And this means that when I was getting hot and sweaty playing Beat Saber and Dance Central, the headset would slowly start to slip down, moving my vision out of the sweet spot. Now this might not be a problem for those that have hair, although for the follically challenged like myself, it's worth being aware of that you might have to tighten the straps a little bit more than usual to keep the headset in place. Overall, the Quest has a premium and sleek look with sturdy plastic and nice material wrapped around the device. I really wish the Rift S was designed in-house just like the Quest, but it is what it is. The one thing I love about the Quest, which really makes it very comfortable to use, is that you don't have a wire tether to worry about. Those familiar with PCVR headsets will know how annoying that cable can be at times. And like I've mentioned before, wireless VR feels very, very liberating. Now let's get into the optics. The Oculus Quest has two 1600 by 1440 pixels per eye resolution OLED panels, which looked great. Black levels in dark games like Beat Saber and Dance Central looked really good, and colors were rich and vibrant. Screen door effect and God rays were also noticeably reduced compared to the original Rift, and this is likely due to the newer Fresnel lenses used in the Oculus Go and the Rift S. Strangely, the Oculus Quest actually has a higher resolution than the Rift S, but despite that, the Rift S still provides a better image, and that's due to having it powered by a PC and the headset having an LCD panel with an RGB subpixel arrangement. All the games on Oculus Quest run at 72 Hz, and occasionally in-game I noticed slight stutter or lag, but overall this didn't distract too much from the overall game experience. In terms of field of view, I would say it's on par with Go, Rift, and Rift S, with maybe a few degrees difference between all the headsets. The mechanical IPD adjustment on Quest is great, and I definitely prefer mechanical adjustment over the software adjustment of the Rift S. This means that swapping the headset with others quickly and adjusting the IPD on the fly won't be an issue. Now let's get onto the tracking. Just like in my Rift S video, I really pushed the Oculus Insight tracking system of the Quest to its limits, and it was easier to see the dead spots on the Quest rather than the Rift S. Of course, the Rift S has 5 cameras positioned around the headset for tracking, whereas the Quest has 4 cameras on each corner of the front faceplate. Moving the controllers behind my head or back occluded the controllers from the camera's view, which reduced tracking or lost it completely. When the controllers were reintroduced, sometimes there would be a slight delay in the controller popping back into place in your view, and it definitely wasn't as snappy as Rift S when this happens. However, Quest games will likely be designed with this limitation of movement in mind, and most of the time you'll have the controllers in front of you, which will provide optimal tracking. I did notice though in Beat Saber in particular, I lost tracking once or twice whilst playing on Expert. Now this could be due to the environment of the show floor at PAX, and I'll definitely need to test this further once I get one back home in the office. With the slight issues aside, it's nothing short of magic that such a sophisticated tracking system like Oculus Insight can exist on a standalone headset. The Passthrough mode is a standout feature which is definitely worth mentioning, because now during the initial room setup you'll get a view of the room around you, so you can set your Guardian boundary system to prevent you from hitting your walls. And the pass-through mode provides a grainy black and white camera mode, which is great for quickly seeing what's going on in the real world around you without having to take the headset off. Sadly, I can't share any of this in the video, and I can't share anything about the new Oculus home environment, as nothing is yet final. Next up, let's cover the controllers. If you saw my Rift S video, you'll know all about them already, because the Quest will use exactly the same controllers as the Rift S. The touch controllers will feel familiar to those that have ever used the original touch controllers, albeit they're very slightly smaller and lighter. They do have the same haptics and capacitive thumbstick sensors as the original touch controllers. Both controllers require a single AA battery, which is replaced by sliding off a magnetic grip cover. My colleagues on the F Reality podcast stated stated that when playing Beat Saber, the cover would sometimes slip, but I have to say I didn't experience this myself. However, I do have smaller hands though, so maybe I was able to grip the controller better. So there's a few more things I want to mention before wrapping this video up, because battery life is a question that everyone wants to know, and there have been varied reports on the subject. When I reached out to Oculus for clarification, they stated that it really depends on what you're doing in the headset. For example, playing games with the controllers or just kicking back and watching a movie will provide different results. However, they weren't willing to share specific details until closer to launch. I personally would estimate it's likely to provide around 2 to 3 hours of full-on gameplay. With that said, it's likely you're going to be able to use a battery pack to play and charge at the same time using the headset's USB-C connection. Just like with Rift and Go, you'll be able to manage your content on the Quest using a mobile app, or do it in the headset itself. If you already own a Rift, you'll likely find that some titles that you've already bought will be available for free on Quest if the game supports cross-buy, which is at developers' discretion. The Oculus app is available on iOS and Android now for free if you want to download it and create an account to get prepared. It's also worth mentioning that once games are installed on the headset, you won't need an internet connection to play single-player games whilst away from home. So the final thing I want to cover is one of the repeat questions I get about the Quest all the time. And the question is always, should I buy the Oculus Quest or should I buy a PCVR headset like the Rift or the Vive, Windows MR, or maybe even the upcoming Valve Index? The simple answer is, if you own a powerful enough PC, always go for a PCVR headset. Like I said at the beginning of the video, PC will always provide the best virtual reality experience. However, if you don't own a gaming PC or want to take fully tracked VR with you whilst traveling away from home, then the Quest is the obvious choice. Okay guys and girls, so there we have it. That's all the information about the Oculus Quest. I have to say, I absolutely love this VR headset. It does have its limitations, but I think it's absolutely perfect for taking around on the go and having fun and really experiencing that true 6 degrees of freedom VR experience in such a small, compact and affordable package. And I can't wait for consumers to get their hands on this device. I'm sure they're going to love it as much as I do. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you excited for the Quest? What game out of the 50+ launch titles are you excited about the most? I'd love to know. Me personally, I can't wait to get my hands on Vader Immortal. All we need to know now is when this headset will finally release. And I just can't wait any longer, to be honest. So please, Oculus, tell us this information soon. I hope you guys and girls have enjoyed this one. Leave a like if you did. Make sure you're subscribed for all my future content. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.